encourage you to tonight get you a little notebook. We're going to go a little bit more in depth to where we were at yesterday. I always have a precursor. I'm a strong believer in God and the Bible, and because of that, that is the foundation of the information. Um, and then, of course, there's the natural aspect. So we touched on a little bit of stuff. I also want to let you know that we had a winner for doing our first share. She did our first share last night, and she won a cash prize, and that was Talisa Small. She is a business owner too, so I ask that you patronize her if you're in the local area. She has a cleaning business, so we got to sew into her business. I would love to sew into you guys's um, businesses. Or just sow into your ministry, just sow into you, whatever it is. We also we did a Facebook post on picking a color for your brand earlier, and we had some great responses. Shout out to Rita, Tioka, Whitney, Tion. You guys had some really good responses, so we will be drawing a name for another prize. We'll be drawing that name this weekend, and that grand prize winner will be announced this weekend, no later than Monday. You'll get a post of when that video is going to take forth. So congratulations again to Talisa Small for winning our share prize, cash prize yesterday. And congratulations in advance to the name that is drawn for doing our activity earlier about the color of your brand. We had some really good responses, so check out the post. Share. There's some really good responses on there. It is very important that you not only look at this as for a business, but look at this as for as yourself. If you don't set a precedence for you don't set a what is the word I'm looking for? If you don't set a brand for yourself, then nobody else is going to value you. It's like if you go and apply, like I said yesterday, if you go and apply for a management position, share with you guys personally, I'm in a director's position, but I had to sell myself my own personal brand. So this is not just for if you're a business owner. Maybe in the future you want to be, maybe it's about ministry. Maybe you're just doing ministry. Maybe you're doing nonprofit. Maybe you're just trying to sell some goods that you make. Or maybe this is just informational purposes, but I guarantee you can apply this stuff to you. I'll give you a little bit about my background again. I am a bachelor's degree holder, but I have had graduate coursework also in entrepreneurship. So I do credit that to education as well. And I also have had experience helping out churches and different entities establishing their goals. Hey to everybody that I'm seeing in there: Whitney, Naomi, Rita, everybody that I'm seeing in here. Nana, yes. Just good morning. Good evening, rather. I got my coffee, so we're going to jump right into it. Again, pay attention to the posts that we'll put up after each video, because there's an opportunity to win prizes. We'll be doing the drawing for the prize of the people that put up their post about what color they would do their brand. And then we're going to build off of that. So the next post will build from the color to the next step. Okay. Before you know it, you'll have your own brand. So what we're going to jump in today, we're going to do a couple of points. Okay. So if you have your notebooks, so we learned yesterday about knowing who we're talking to. Hey, Maderia, my porter, she's on here. She's another business owner. So we got a lot of business owners on here. And like we talked about last night, when I received this education, when I learned about this, I learned that like I said, I had a business in 2009. It was before I got all the education I got, and now I'm back at it again, applying what I learned where I failed at, and now I'm able to help other people. So we talked about yesterday developing your your brand in a manner of knowing your audience. Okay. So we're going to go deep down into that again. So one thing that you want to remember is you want to stay specific to your brand. Okay. If I mention different organizations or names, this is not a video to market any of those organizations. But if you watch a commercial for Coca-Cola or whatever it may be, they're going to have a specific to their brand. And that is to attract you to digress from any other form of Coke product, soda product that you would desire. Okay. Then they're going to have a set audience and there's going to be a promise that they give you. Okay. So, first step is you want to be specific. You don't want to have a broad range. If you, let's say you are in the specialty of artwork, selling artwork or whatever, let's just say that's what it is. Okay. Many of people can sell artwork, but what is your specific? What is your specific? If you're in the and I don't know why I keep using this, but if you're in the cosmetology, zone in on what your specific is going to be, because you cannot master a talent. You can't master what you are desiring to master if you're all over the place. So you want to be specific to your brand, okay? You want to know what audience you're going for, like we talked about last night, and you want to give them a promise and fulfill that promise, okay? So what you don't want to do is say that, hey, I created this Velcro strap, and if you attach it to, a pair of pants, that it's going to work. It's going to stay, it's going to stick, it's going to survive through the wash, it's going to survive through the dry and all that. You have to test out that hypothesis. You have to test it out, because if you set a promise and you fail, then you failed your audience. If you fail your audience and you've lost your customers, or you lose your customers, then you failed your business. So you want to make sure that you have a brand promise. What is it that what I'm establishing for my audience? What is it that I'm going to promise them that I'm going to do for them to make it better? Now, there might be hiccups along the way. Some people might not like the results or whatever it may be, but you're going to make a promise. And it's based off of a set number of criteria. When we go deeper into this, you'll be able to figure out what that criteria is that you need to set. So you have this promise, and then you have this criteria that keeps you within this realm. And so that leaves you room for, if somebody's not pleased or something goes wrong, that leaves room for that. Don't set it all the way up here in the stars and then you can't reach it. When you get started, it can take people years to build a comfortable company. It can take them years. When I sat in and I've talked to other business owners, like I said, just to give you another brief history, I've sat down with an advisor years ago when I first started, and he said it can take years. For some it can be like right off the top. It depends on the way that you come into it. I think a lot of times businesses fail because you jump into it, but you have not taken that time to set yourself up to succeed. Okay. You have to take that time to set yourself up to succeed. So you don't want to just jump in because you got some money and let me go use that. Let me go get an office. Let me go do this. Do what you can to set yourself up to succeed, because you have to be able to reach that audience. Like we talked about last night, you have to be able to set a specific to your brand. You don't want to be all over the place, and you have to be able to find out what you're going to promise your audience. And you have to be able to reach that audience and to fulfill that promise within that criteria that we'll talk about in the future. Okay. So since you've done those steps, now what is going to be your strategy? What is going to be your strategy of distributing either your service or your product? Those are the two things that every business has. You either are providing a service or you're providing a product, and some people provide both. Okay. even entertainment. If you're just in the entertainment, a stand-up comedian is providing a service. They're making people laugh. Okay. So what is your strategy to get the result that you need for that, whatever that is, that promise is that you giving your individuals, your audience. Okay. Um, so it's very important. So then you come to perception, brand perception. You want to make sure that the way that your audience perceives your brand is a factual, honest, perception. Okay, so that's when we go back to when we went back to our initial branding, picking a color. Okay, was our first activity. Like what stands out? Like if you were to have a bunch of marketing material, what color would you use? What and then the next thing we might post to see what you guys say is what type of symbol would you focus on? Okay. Um, if you're trying to attract the audience to bring forth excitement, certain colors, certain shapes, they bring forth excitement. Okay. Um, it's like a never ending. And I'll tell you the story behind, eventually I'll tell you the story behind some of the logos I created. I'll ask some of the people if I can share their logos. And share some of the things that we've done. I'll share with you some flyers that I made before and let you know how we came to that, because you want to be sure that you're fulfilling your audience's request, and they don't even know they have the request yet. You have to know. Okay, you have to know this request. Um, Again, I'm sorry, I'm fooling with my hair, but woo. Okay, so we talked about being specific to your brand. Don't be all over the place. If you are a housekeeper, concentrate on keeping the house. Don't try to do housekeeping and landscaping, because then you're not gonna get uh you want to get expertise in that specific. If you do something like that, then you want to have partners, to somebody to head up one side and somebody head up the other, because it begins to be too much. If you're going to be an advisor for the multiple business. If you're going to be an actual business owner, find out if you're going to be up front or if you're going to be behind the scenes. Then also you want to one of the things that we also want to do, and this is one of the last points I'll touch before I jump back up to why businesses fail, but you want to have your brand to have a speaking voice. Your brand can't talk for you. Branding a lot of times is confused for just the company itself, but it's actually what people see that represent you. So how that brand speaks to your audience is very important. So you want to make sure that that speaking voice is loud. If you're in something like entertainment or or music production or video production, something that is out there to get people, or you're starting a party planning business, whatever that, if that falls in one of those categories, you want your speaking voice to be loud. You want your brand to be loud because it has to stand out. Let's say you're into something where you're providing a service, you're providing consultation, counseling, whatever that is. You want your brand to be soft spoken. So you don't want, because if somebody is coming for you for advice, nobody wants to be, just imagine this, you don't want to be talked down to, you want to be talked with, not talked at or not down to. So your brand, that goes from your form of marketing, how you market, you don't want a real loud commercial going all the way through. If you want to start that off with asking a question. Are you trying to find out this? Are you trying to find? And if you pay attention to commercials, that's what they do. If it's an attorney commercial, they're going to start off pose it with the question. Their logos and their marketing material are going to be more of a a somber, such as they might use a lot of grays and blues, and they're not going to use yellows and reds and pinks and greens. They're going to use those somber, um, soft spoken brands. Okay. So you got to determine, is your brand going to be soft spoken or is it going to be loud? Then you have those in between. Those in between, you don't have a monotone. So you can kind of relate it to a voice if somebody's speaking to you. I tend to have a voice that at certain points when I get excited, my voice gets excited, my posture changes. Where you have some that speak and they're at a straight monotone. Imagine that being a brand that is speaking straight monotone, is speaking soft. Your brand is going to speak soft. If your business is like entertainment or party planning, or events, and or production, or whatever, you want that to be loud. You want that to grab a different audience, an excitement. If it's food service, you got to be able to grab. So you might have okay, you feel me? Okay, and so then the middle is that type of voice that it fluctuates. It can go for any crowd. So when you build your brand, you want it to be able to target your audience, but it can grab them if they're at their lowest. It can grab them if they're at their highest. It's not going to take them over the top, and it's not going to put them under, and it's going to grab them. Okay, and something like that would be maybe using I can take my logo for example. I have some clear circles on there. You see that, and then I have some colored. It can grab any audience. Okay. Um, and the shape in itself makes you feel like it's a hug, like it's grabbing you. So you want to be able to make sure that your brand has a speaking voice. I liked how some of the individuals said with their colors. I think um, Rita said something as far as orange, if I'm not mistaken, and I liked that, and how she described it. Whitney said purple and royalty. We had white. Brother Tion said white, and he described the purity. And then we had Nyosha that described blue. um it'll grab you. It'll grab you. So if you're that middle person, you want to use multiple different speaking voices. So you want to use some brights, you want to use some in between. And I'm not just talking about like your logo design or anything. I'm also talking about um, the material that you use to market. Okay, the color of your business cards, the color of your website, what you use on your Facebook page to advertise. Do you put a message in all caps or do you put it in, mixed caps? Like, you just got to know that what font to use. It's all appealing to people. What is going to make you stand out? So, just to recap, I'm 20 minutes in. Just to recap, we said that you want your brand to be specific. You don't want to be all over the place. We revisited again. You want to know the audience for your brand. You want to make a promise and fulfill that promise to the best of your ability within the constraints that are going to be established, which when we get into business plans, that's when we're going to establish those constraints. And then you want to establish your strategy in order to fulfill that promise. And you want to make sure that the perception that your audience grabs is an accurate, perception. So now one of the only ways you might be able to do that is to test it. And we'll get into that form of business plan, is to test your product, test your service, and do anonymous surveys. Don't just get into a business and assume everybody's going to be happy with your product. They're not. But get you a test market. And we'll talk about that when we do business planning, probably next week. You want to get a hypothesis, and you want to actually test it. And you want to make sure that you're getting a realistic view. And there's a lot of resources out there. There's free resources that you can use to send out tests. If you want me to let you know some of those links, then message me after the video and I will send you those links. If you are currently in business and you want to see what your people really think about your product, because they might tell you one thing, but they might say there's some improvement that need to be done. And you're at the beginning, then let me know and I'll send you that link so that you can test out their perception, because you want the perception to be truthful. And then the last point was speaking voice, the voice of your brand. Your brand is going to speak for you. It's going to attract who it wants you. You can't always stand before people when they hit on a website. You're not going to be there unless you do a video or something telling them, hey, pick my brand, pick me. Something has to speak for you. And then we also talked about why businesses fail. And a lot of businesses fail because you jump right into it without doing all these steps and stepping it up. And you try it and then it fails because you did not take the steps. I use the example of my first business. It's still an entity that I have, but it failed because I did not take the steps necessary. And so then I went and got education, and I went and learned a little bit more about it. I started talking to business owners, being around business owners, and then I got to understand what it meant to build up my market, build up my brand before I actually go in there and try to send out a service or a product. So with all that being said, the fun part of this is your participation, your shares that you do at the end of this determines what kind of if you get in the running for a gift. We issued out cash yesterday. We're going to be issuing out some pretty good prizes. So be sure to share. Be sure to comment if you have any questions. Inbox me if you have any questions. Also, be sure to look for our YouTube page. We're doing an update, a new YouTube page, and we want you to share that as well. But we want to help you. If you have any questions about anything that we touched tonight over brand specific, audience, promise, strategy, truth perception, and speaking voice, how can all that be in a brand? That is a lot, but it is so important. If you would like me to go down deeper into any of these points, make sure that you comment and I'll be sure to go into those points. If you have something that a testimonial of how any of these steps have helped you in your business so far. And again, if you're not going to business, this is about how you can be a better you as well. Okay. And then also just know, don't jump in too soon. Spend this time working with me. Work with me here. Let's build up your whole goal. Before we know it, you're going to be writing a business plan and you're going to be able to go forth. But let's build it up. If you've started and you're struggling, let's take these steps together and see what we can do to grow each other. I want to sow into your business. I want to sow into you. So what I'm asking that you do is, again, share. If you get a message from me, that message will tell you to send me your Cash App. I do it by random sometimes, or I do it by first come, first serve. So make sure you share, tag somebody that you know is a business owner or that's an aspiring business owner, or that they're starting a church ministry. They need help getting their stuff off the ground. They're not technology savvy, whatever it may be. Let's support each other. This is a perfect time to get the education and to do these things and to get out there. Look at me. I was not a person that would do live videos. People that know me, this is not something I would do unless I was advertising for the church. This is not me. But I decided I'm going to get out here and share the knowledge that I have, help somebody else. And what a perfect time to do so. Hey, don't be shy about going forth in this season. Don't be shy about it. Use your time wisely. Let's do this. Let's do it hand in hand. If you need resources, I can send you resources. If you want to set up a session, I can do you a private session and I can do a private consultation with you. But let's work together at this. Congratulations to all of you that have decided to go out here with me and step out on faith and to step out to reach your goals. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to those that don't even know that they're going to be a business owner yet. Congratulations, because you're writing down these notes. You're taking this step. And again, go ahead and share. And don't forget to like our YouTube page. I will be posting that link soon. And see how you can help somebody else. There's somebody that's on your friends list that needs to see that they can do this and we can do this together. Please stay safe. Please follow guidelines. Please stay at home. Um, please wear your mask, do all that. And if you are in the Evansville area, every Wednesday, we also do a food bank, a drive up food bank at 1820 Stringtown Road, Bethesda Ministries. I'm going to throw that out there. And if you need anything, if you need some resources for your business, if you need something created, let me know. I can send you what my fees are. I can, right now I'm offering certain discounts, so this will be a good time to do so. So thank you all for tuning in. My videos are not going to be long. They're going to be about 20, 30 minutes. After a while, people stop watching, so we don't want to lose y'all. But thank you for putting up with me. And then my hair that needs to be redone. But thank you for putting up with me right now for about a half an hour. And I love you all and see you soon. Don't forget to share. Hey everyone, thank you again for supporting us and staying tuned for the video on branding your business and branding yourself. Now don't forget to hit subscribe at the bottom of the screen, leave a comment of any questions that you may have, and we'll be sure to cover it. You can find our videos live on Facebook, or you can wait for our next video to be posted here on YouTube. Hey, we got some surprising things coming forward, so don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.